So we're here at the Cooper Life podcast. We're here with Rose Simkovich.
Simkovich.
I said it right?
Yeah.
Simkovich.
Not a lot of people do.
She's the property manager here at the Royce. So you've been here 6 months?
6 months.
Okay. She kind of came in and just crushed it. She got to 95% stabilized in the first 3 months she was here, and obviously we're working very closely with her and her management team, doing the lifestyle experiences and fitness programming. So let's just talk about you for a second. Where are you from? Where'd you go to college? Are you married? Do you have kids?
Well, I'm originally from Texas. I was born and raised in Texas and grew up around the San Antonio and Austin area. But I've been in California for 19 years now, which is surprising to me too. I'm like, gosh, it's been that long. So
you're a local now.
So I'm a local now, yeah. But I'm married and I have one little girl. She's 4 years old.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. A lot of my friends are moving to Texas.
I know. It's turning into like the places.
Dallas. They're going to Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in high demand, and the cost of living in Austin now is not far off from California anymore.
I know. Yeah, I mean, with taxes and the cost of real estate here.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, 20% of probably my wife and my community has either gone to Texas or out of state just because it's expensive.
But it's a fun place to live. It has
it's really flat, isn't it?
Well, it depends on which part of Texas you go to, but for the most part, but still, like, lots of stuff to do. I met a girl in the airport who was from California, and she was like, if there was any other place I would move to, it would be Austin. Then she was just moving there, actually.
Yeah. Good music scene.
Yeah. No, it's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun growing up there.
Yeah. Cool. What did you study in college?
I went directly into real estate.
Nice.
Right after high school. Real estate's
cool.
Yeah, real estate's big in my family. So I went to real estate school, and my family kind of just expected me to dive into selling houses. And I just really wasn't.
Did you do that in Texas?
I didn't, because I
Were you a realtor? Did you?
I did real estate school, got my license, but I wasn't. It was kind of like a family thing that they wanted me to do, and I was kind of a rebellious child, the youngest of 6.
Yeah.
So
6.
Yeah,
you were the baby of 6.
Yeah, mostly girls.
Wow.
Yeah, so it really wasn't like, gosh, this is not what my heart's into.
Yeah.
So I escaped to California. I told my parents, like, I'm going to Disneyland, and stayed in California.
So did you pursue real estate out here?
No, I started off, I was young. I was 19 years old. So I started off waitressing at the Irvine Spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah, and ended up doing what I'm doing now kind of by accident.
I feel like every property manager I talk to, they say that they've kind of fallen into the position.
Yeah, you do. I mean,
it's not really like a job that you go to school for and you aspire to be a property manager.
Yeah, no, I don't, unless you're
it's a great job.
Yeah, it's been fantastic.
Yeah.
But unless, it's not something, unless you're like really familiar with it, you don't go, I'm just going to do this.
So what did you intend to do, like, in California?
At 19, I had no idea. I just wanted, being the rebellious and youngest of 6, just knew I wanted to kind of break away from like the family business, quote unquote. So I had no idea, and that's how I fell into it. I just figured out early on that I had a knack for what I was doing.
Yeah, it's like in your blood.
Yeah,
it's in your bones.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Where did you start? Where did you start, like, your first property
in
management?
The industry.
Or how did you start? Was it leasing consultant, assistant manager?
It's a funny story, actually.
Yeah.
So my roommate and I kind of were just being the young girls we were, got in over our heads at this brand new beautiful property in Mission Viejo. And back then, there weren't really like recruiting departments. The managers were responsible for finding their own people. So she came to us one day and was like, hey, do any of you guys want a part-time job? And if you do, you get a rent discount. So my roommate was like, she didn't want to give up her job. So
Yeah.
she kind of nudged me to try it out. And I did. I started off as part-time sales. But sales kind of already being in my blood,
Yep.
I figured out really early on that I could make some really good money doing this,
Awesome.
particularly at lease-up properties, which are brand new.
Mm-hmm.
So I was turning and burning at that age.
You were?
Yeah. And it just kind of grew from there.
When was your first property management?
Well, as I started doing that, there was some natural growth steps that started to happen from the sales position, and it was stuff like assistant manager or resident relations.
Same property in Mission Viejo?
No, I moved around a lot because I just kind of being new to California, I wanted to learn everything about what I could. So
and you can literally live everywhere you're working, right?
For most of the cases you can. Because I knew I had an opportunity to pretty much work wherever I wanted, I started expanding into the LA market. So I went from the Mission Viejo area to Studio City in Long Beach. And as I started to gain experience in different markets, the natural growth started to happen into hey, maybe you want to be an assistant manager. Maybe you want to be a resident relations manager or customer service. So I did a bunch of different roles. I grew into an assistant manager, then as the properties got bigger and different things started to happen, I grew into resident relations. I even did a little bit on the maintenance side. We were hit, in one particular case, we were hit by a really big Pineapple Express storm. And we had 50 apartment floods. And our maintenance team was severely lacking at that time. We didn't have anybody to kind of run the show. But since I had been leasing, I kind of knew.
Were they leased?
Yeah.
The apartments
they
were
leased? Totally occupied.
Occupied.
So, but
terrible.
From the experience I had from leasing and paying bills and assistant manager, I kind of knew the order of how to get an apartment ready. So I spearheaded the maintenance side of getting it organized and communicating with the residents and doing repairs.
You're a leader. You're a natural leader.
Yes.
I think so.
I hate to call myself that, but yes.
Yeah,
it's definitely,
take ownership of that.
It's definitely in my blood. So with that happening and the acknowledgement of being able to do that, it grew into maybe you should manage property. And that's how I started.
And how long have you been managing?
A very long time. I've been in the industry.
So just as property manager?
Just as property manager, maybe about 8 years in totality.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I feel like property managers they're essentially CEOs of multi-million dollar companies.
Yeah, depending on the size, exactly.
And these jobs entail much more than a manager at Starbucks or a manager at TJ Maxx. Is there any truth to that? It's kind of just a feeling I have.
I think so, yeah, absolutely. A lot of my management experience is in property management. I haven't really managed anything else. There are some things that are the same. I think leadership is, it's needed, and no matter which kind of management role that you're in, whether it be with a different company. But it does differentiate quite a bit because as property managers, we're solely responsible for a multi-million-dollar checkbook. Yeah. And in some cases, maybe at a Starbucks, you have a bunch of other people that are doing that for you. So we see the ins and outs pretty much of every single penny. And then at the end of the day, propose a budget worth multi-millions of dollars that's going to make work for the next year. So.
And we spoke to your assistant manager a few weeks ago, and she also mentioned not only are you in charge of writing and maintaining a multi-million dollar budget for this asset, which is really it's a business. Yeah. But your clients or customers actually live here, so there's a whole nother layer, right? Yeah. It's not like they show up and you make them a Frappuccino and they leave, or they show up and they buy a cool new pair of shoes and they leave. It's they're here, they're living here. And so it's a whole nother layer and nuances to that, I'm sure.
It's tough because you see the same people day in and day out. So you're Where the sales come in is even if you're not in leasing or selling new apartments, you're constantly selling yourself over and over and over again, because whether they're coming in to get a package or renewing their lease, like you have to be pretty much on point, like all the time.
And you live here?
I do live here, yeah.
So let's talk about that for a second. Well, I mean, what is that like on your, I mean, you have Saturday, Sunday off, or you have 2 days off a week, right?
Yeah, I have weekends off.
And are you kind of still on your off days?
Kind of, yeah. So I think part of being a manager is knowing how to separate yourself, because if you don't, then like burnout happens really quick. So it's takes another kind of talent to be able to, like, if you live here, separate yourself. So there's different things that I do, whether it's like leaving the property, just walking outside for fresh air.
Deadbolting.
Yeah, I haven't quite mastered it, if you can't tell.
Deadbolting your apartment door and not leaving for 12 hours.
Yeah, I haven't quite mastered it, but you have to make an effort into separating yourself. But I do live on site because companies do try to make it a benefit to living on site too. So there's lots of great things to it, and there's ups and downs. Yeah.
What's the most challenging about this work?
The most challenging about this work is you have to constantly evolve. So what I found for me is not one thing always works. I've been doing it long enough to see, like, now we're employing millennials and they work totally different than maybe how I work. So you're constantly evolving and you have to keep up with it. I remember, like, we weren't, incorporating, gosh, I hate to date myself with age, but social media is really big now. And there was a time that social media was just for private use, and now it's managing social media. So evolving and making sure that I stay abreast of,
very entrepreneurial.
Of the industry it can be a challenge.
Ultimate goal, like regional? Asset manager, owner someday? Your family's in real estate? Do you want to go buy a bunch of fourplexes?
That definitely crosses my mind, like something on a bigger scale than this. But I think for now, I kind of take my goals one at a time, and my shorter term goal is probably regional manager.
Cool. Historically, I've been a fitness guy, and breaking into real estate has been challenging. I've been kind of a fitness entrepreneur for the last 15 years, and I've just been kind of waiting, deciding what I'm going to do, what my next move is going to be. In Southern California, there's a gym on every corner. There doesn't need to be another gym. So we put together this business model about 5 years ago, and we targeted multifamily specifically. And I didn't know what NOI was. I didn't know what incremental value was, lease up, resident retention. I didn't know anything. I knew, like, lunges, bench press, and nutrition. Right?
Wow.
So it's been super fun, and I just know, like, the tip of the iceberg, right?
Yeah, but bravo to you, though.
Oh, well, thank you.
I mean, coming in and starting this business with you, I would have never guessed.
Would you never have guessed,
No.
right? But is there anything, like, else that that I need to be made aware of to stay kind of relevant in real estate? Is there anything else I should know based on what we have done with the Royce, how Cooper Life has come in and partnered with the Royce, and based on what you've seen? Is there more nuances to the real estate that would make my journey better?
Well, talking with you and getting to know the like what you guys do, I've actually learned from you guys. Like, it's like, your customer, and there's things that, I can't always go out and study like what my demographics doing. It's very helpful for us to know. And I would have never ever known that you didn't know any of this. But I think, like I was saying, it's totally evolving, just staying current with what
Yeah.
what your customer is, and if you're focusing really much on very much on multifamily, then who like the renter is at that time and what they're doing. But I mean, it sounds like you totally are.
Great.
You're already there.
Good. So one of my biggest encouragements to prospects and current clients is to build an amenity code into the lease of your residence, right? And it would help subsidize part of the lifestyle experiences and fitness, or pay for all of it.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that? Are there any reasons why owners wouldn't want to do that, other than they don't know about it? Because meeting with new clients and closing deals and me proposing this, I get like, holy moly, I've never heard of that. That's a great idea.
Oh, really?
And then other people will just say,
yeah,
we don't like to build back the residence. I mean, why wouldn't an owner want an amenity code for lifestyle and or fitness and say it's $1 a door, right?
I'm not sure. I mean, why wouldn't?
Yeah.
Unless there's already stuff being built back that maybe is like has pretty much increased, like what we're billing. Maybe it's at a dollar amount that we're kind of like, oh, that's a little uncomfortable to push onto the residents. That would be my only thought, because I know plenty of owners that are open to adding amenity codes and billing back essentially the expense for lots of things. So I'm not sure that there's really a major no, other than we're already billing back maybe a trash cleaning service or a porter service or pest control, and I have the number on the residents already, so we're willing to eat this expense.
Gotcha. Experiences are it. Couldn't you guys partner with one of these major airlines and somehow offer all of your, and your new assets, the first 100 apartments that go, they get 3,000 miles or...
Yeah, and I think that's the ultimate goal of Sarah's Regis, is to offer innovative ideas like that to our clients, to say, why don't we do this, and why don't we, how else can we cater to the person that's paying us rent every day like that? Because you're right, at the end of the day, the resident experience is what keeps a resident, what sells a resident. So I think that's the ultimate goal of the management company, is to be able to do things like that.
Yeah, I was just like this.
Thank you for that idea.
No, I've got this laundry list. I've got this notebook at home where I just have all these ideas, right?
Thank you. Whenever you're ready to share that notebook.
Yeah, for sure. So you wanted to be a news reporter? That's what?
Yeah. When I was a kid, that was probably my first dream. So my father bought, I grew up mostly with my nephews because my sisters are so far ahead in age. So my dad bought us a camcorder, and we just went crazy with that. I was making commercials and doing news reports, and I knew for sure I was going to be on camera.
Cut out.
Yeah.
Cut out for it. So these are our classes. So the Royce, we've co-branded an app. It's called RoyceFit. So they've kind of got their own social fitness studio on site. We'll talk more about that.
Jenny had people standing right around here that would welcome them to the party. Kind of showed them where the bar was, where the food was.
Epic.
Yeah, it was.
What an epic space.
It was fantastic.
So we had like food and hors d'oeuvres lined up here. Is that right?
Yes. So Jenny had people introducing or welcoming people to the party right at the entryway there.
So we had greeters.
We had, greeters, thank you. Hors d'oeuvres being passed around.
Yeah, alcohol.
Yes. Right
Cocktail.
around that area, they used that table for a bar.
Yep. And it was like craft cocktails.
Yeah, we did some themed holiday or Halloween drinks, DJ, fog machine, and then right over here, and this, I just have to tell you that this party drew attention from the street.
Yeah.
Because it was rooftop. All these restaurants were kind of like, we had strobe lights going, music going, and then we had our fire dancers.
Fire spinners and fire dancers right over
great.
here. Oh, it was killer, right?
Right where these chairs were.
Yeah.
and it was amazing.
So like these restaurants, anybody eating at the restaurants would be able to see what was going on.
Anybody. We actually had a couple people walk in and just say what they wanted to know what was going on up here.
They wanted to join the party.
Yeah, and I was like, well, come on in, and if you're looking for a place to live.
That's invaluable.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was
How
pretty
many people
amazing.
do you think turned out?
Oh God. Well, I know we served over 300 drinks, so at least a minimum 2 per person.
Yeah. So you were here, Jessica?
I was here, and my assistant was here.
We have continued to get compliments.
Good.
Pretty much that it's been the best event we've had here.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing, right?
Cool.
I mean, I just felt like it was more of a social setting. I feel like here there's a lot of business, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people in the industry are usually like, they're getting off work, they're coming home. It was nice to go socialize and be able to go just to the rooftop.
Yeah.
Some people had never been to the rooftop. So they were telling us they'd never been to the rooftop.
Like all the fires that were on. I mean, the
fire
setting's
pits,
gorgeous.
everything. So it was almost like, wow, thanks. Like people just kept thanking us for throwing the event.
Good.
So it was more of a
people showed
social
up?
setting. Over 300 for sure. In
Over
and out.
300.
Whole rooftop was full.
Great. Did you see the fire spinners and all that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. It was just a good atmosphere.
Okay.
The kind of feedback we got, one was mostly how we have improved the resident experience since we took over. Just like, you guys have changed this building, like more than you know. And then the party, one guy said, if you could geo-track this, you're gonna see this on everybody's Instagram stories. Like, and he didn't know that we were the managers. He thought we were just some girls, hanging out at the party. He was like, this is sicker than some parties I've seen at hotels.
Yeah.
Like, this is amazing. One guy asked us, can you just raise our rent and throw more parties like this?
Yes. See,
So,
and of course.
It was crazy. So I was just blown away.
Yeah.
I didn't, it being the first party, I was just like, I didn't really know what to
Probably
expect.
nervous. I was nervous.
Yeah.
Right? Like we needed to
Nervous
show up.
from afar, yeah.
We needed to show up and make it epic and like really. It was the first one, so it needed to be done better.
That's how I felt. I was like, as a new manager, this is my first one. This has got to be great.
Yeah.
I was nervous, but
yeah.
I mean, you guys really showed up.
Thank you.
More than what I even expected.
Good.
Yeah.
That's really good to hear.
So I let the owners know, because they were really impressed that we were able to bring on something like you. Our Cooper Life is what I meant to say. And so I let the owners know, and the owners, one of them said, the representatives of our ownership was like, well, you're making Irvine a cool place to live again.
Yeah, totally.
I was like, yeah, I guess I am. So it was awesome.
What could we have done better for the experience?
The only thing I really, just because we've gotten to know each other so well, was I really just wanted them to really say Cooper Life Fitness. Like, this is really promote Cooper Life a little bit more than what they did. And which I understood was like, hey, everyone's having a good time. This isn't really a time to sell. But I just thought, like, if they knew, like, hey, this is in partnership with Cooper Life Fitness, then it would have really, done you guys well. And that's what I want that for you.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, our whole intention is to make management look awesome. Yeah. And to make ownership look awesome. Yeah. So it's not Cooper Life. We're kind of behind the scenes to do that.
Yeah, totally understandable.
But like, we'll do that.
Yeah.
I mean, getting props is obviously awesome.
Yeah.
We don't mind getting more props.
Yeah.
So,
totally.
Okay. Well, great.
Yeah.
So I did want to just kind of cruise down to the gym to kind of showcase your space and
of course.
Let everyone know kind of what RoyceFit is.
Yeah.
Right. So Cooper Life has partnered with the Royce, and we've co-branded an experience or a social fitness studio called RoyceFit. So residents can download the RoyceFit app on Google Play or the Apple Store, and they can RSVP for any of the classes. Social fitness classes or group fitness classes are the same thing that the Royce is offering. So they're offering social fitness classes 5 days a week. Typically Monday through Thursday evening and a Saturday morning class. Have you had any, feedback on the classes?
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as it kicked off, we had some immediate interest in it, such as like the yoga classes. I personally took the cycle class, which I'm really excited about.
Cool.
But being able to offer it to our residents is definitely sets us apart from what some of our competitors are doing, with the inclusion of the RoyceFit app. So it's been tremendously beneficial for us to be able to provide a service like that with branding to enhance the overall experience that we're offering our residents.
Yeah, good. And another thing I did want to kind of, touch with you, we talked about it briefly on our call this morning.
Yeah.
But I know January is coming, and we have an experience for January. So this is just an idea. Let me know what you think about it, and we can get Jenny on this. We could all discuss it further. But since it's January, we could potentially do like a new year, new you.
Yeah, I wrote that down. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Cool.
I did.
So
I was interested to hear about it.
we can take your entire budget, and instead of offering one experience, we can offer like 4. So we can do like a salsa dancing margarita one week. We can do a wine and yoga the next week. We can do beer and boot camp one week.
Yeah.
And then maybe a hit happy hour one week.
Yeah.
So there'd be a DJ at every single one of them, or there'd be alcohol at every single one of them.
Yeah.
To partake after the class, right?
How does that work? Okay.
So, instead of one major event, we can maybe break it up into 4, and it could be like a January fitness, healthy lifestyle kickoff.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So just something to think about, but
Yeah.
that's a way to maximize your budget as well. So.
That's great. And that's one of the things I love about Cooper Life is just bringing those new ideas, like out of the box ideas that like we don't always as property managers get a chance to sit and think about.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
thank you.
Yeah. So this is, we call it like a movement studio or yoga studio here. But we do a lot of our social fitness classes here. So we've co-branded an app with Royce. We call it RoyceFit. And this is their schedule. So the majority of our classes are held in this space. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday evening. And then Saturday mornings, right? So we do like a yoga flow, we do a cycle, we do a Zumba, strength and conditioning, and a power yoga. Okay, Rose, what is your favorite food?
Oh my goodness. I have a couple, but
All-time favorite.
all-time favorite, my go-to, if like a cheeseburger.
Love it. Okay. I can eat a cheeseburger a day. Every day, I think 365 days a year.
Yeah.
So that's
Probably same.
that's my favorite as well. However, I've been on a meatless diet for the last
How's
eight
that going
weeks.
for you?
It's good. It's
Good.
good. We just had Thanksgiving last Thursday. It was my first Thanksgiving without a turkey in 37 years.
Yeah.
So, and it was fine. But so do you have a specific cheeseburger place?
Well, being from Texas, nobody makes them like Texas does. So there's a place.
Wow, that is bold.
There's a place that maybe somebody might laugh at me, but if you're
like
from Texas, you won't. It is called Whataburger, and there's a few sprinkled in Arizona. There's a few sprinkled in Arizona, but it is like, get off the plane. My family already knows. If you're picking me up from the airport, that's where we're going.
Nice.
Whataburger. Yeah.
Are they thin patties or thicker patties?
They're thin.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
they're
you like
not
a thinner patty burger.
I can, because I love cheeseburgers, I could do either one.
Yeah, so could I.
I could do either one, but there's a difference between Texas burgers and California, and
What is it?
it's mustard.
They put mustard on their burgers.
Yeah, it's mustard.
That's it.
I could kind of replicate.
It's not like, it's not like because the grass-fed beef is just so much
I'm
better
sure maybe
there.
there is some better to the beef.
But,
I don't get that technical.
Whataburger probably doesn't serve grass-fed beef either.
Yeah. I think probably now you have a choice, but
So In-N-Out, do you like In-N-Out?
no. I
Why?
despise In-N-Out.
Why? Let's talk about that. You despise In-N-Out?
Yes.
That is the go-to
I know.
for a Southern Californian.
I know.
In-N-Out
I can't understand it.
And I like In-N-Out. you know, it's a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
But it's not by any means like my favorite cheeseburger.
Yeah, there's nothing that I like about it.
Nothing.
No.
Have you tried it like with grilled onions?
Yeah, I've tried to
You like animal style, that whole thing?
no.
Yeah, gross.
I can't do it. I don't like their French fries. I don't like their burgers. There's nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
California, favorite California burger?
Probably the Habit.
Yeah, Habit's good.
Yeah.
I'd like the Habit over In-N-Out. Okay, dessert. Are you into dessert?
I am. Not too much, actually. I do have a sweet tooth, but no, I don't have a favorite dessert.
Do you ever go to Laguna Beach?
I do.
So next time you go to Laguna Beach with your family, go to Nick's. And it might be better if it's just you and your husband.
Yeah.
How old's your daughter?
4.
4. It's kind of like a date night place.
Yeah.
But definitely go.
Been there.
Oh, you've been there?
Yeah.
Have you had their butter cake?
No. That's
Known
okay.
for their butter cake. So get their butter
Yeah.
cake. That's my favorite dessert.
I'll try it.
Love the butter cake.
I'll try it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, you're
and
welcome.
getting
My
to know you a
pleasure.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, my pleasure.